Good morning, everyone. So, hope you guys are doing well. We'll get started for today's class. So, before starting, I'll just give a brief recap of whatever we have covered so far. In the first class, we just had an introduction of like what is exactly data and data engineering, and then we saw about the key like storage accounts. So, what are the different storage accounts we have, and then how they are different from one another and which can be used at what time and what are the key advantages of both blob and ADLS. So we just were able to see those things in the previous class. So today and also in the previous class, we discussed about ADF and the copy data activity mainly. So we took the copy data activity and then like we like copied the data from a blob storage to the ADLS storage. So this is like SQL to SQL what we have done so far. Sorry, this is like ADLS to ADLS what we have done, blob to ADLS. So this is what we have done so far. So now we are now going to move this particular data, the which is there in the sync. We are going to get this file and then we are going to create a new table inside our SQL database. So we will create one SQL database as part of the resource. Okay, so this is our resource group here. Like there are a few SQL servers which have already been created by others. So we'll try to create a new SQL database as well as we will try to create a new SQL server as well as an SQL database. Okay. So first is like I'll create a SQL server.
What is SQL server? Is the physical server you are creating or database?
Yes, this is like a server which we are going to create, and then we are going to create a database inside that particular server.
Okay.
So this is how we create a database. So while creating the database, we can also create a server as well. So it is not necessary that you would have to just create the server first and then the database. So while creating the database as well, you can create the server. Okay, so here we're just going to go into the details. So this is the resource group which we have selected, which is dev. And here I can just enter the database name. So I'll just enter this to be like, so for my understanding, I'll just keep this as weekend DB, okay? And we next thing is like we need to create the server. So already we have a server which is created by another person. Like if we see, there are so many servers which have been created, and all these are for different different resource groups. But you only have access to this particular dev resource group. So we'll just create a new SQL server in this dev resource group. Okay. So here I'll just be giving you the server details here. Like I just give the server name. So I'm just giving this server name like weekend ADE. So this would be the server name. I'll choose any random region for now. And here, if you see, I'll just use both SQL and Microsoft Entra authentication. So here, I'll just use the server name. The admin, so admin will be admin login. So this is the username for the admin, and the password for it would be
So
December.
this is the login for the server, or this is the DBA admin login for the database server,
It is for the admin login of the database server. So if you are
not the
trying to
not
log
for
in,
the database, not for the database, right?
it's both. Like it's for the database as well as the this thing. So if you see, I can just click on connect, and I can just enter the server name, and I have to give the authentication details. So basically, any database, if there are like five databases inside the same server, I can use the same authentication, and I can log into all the five databases. Got it? So it is just a server login, and within that, you can access your databases. So that is one thing. So I've just given the authentication method. So we are using both SQL as well as Microsoft Entra authentication. So this is the username, which is admin login, and this is the password for the same. So December at the rate 2025. So I'm going to reconfirm the password. So D is in caps, okay, guys. So December at the rate 2025. So I'll also ping this. So this will be your SQL equal username is admin login. So if you are trying to use this database further for practicing and everything, so you can just log in through this username and password, okay?
Do I need to have this Microsoft SQL Server client to connect?
No, you can also use the on-prem as well. So it is advised that you download this SSMS. So it is like free of cost. So you can just download it and use it on your local machine. So this is the username and password which were created. So now if we click on OK, this particular server will be created, and the database which is weekend.db which we are creating. So that particular database will be there on the like that database. So that database will be there on my weekend AD server. So within this, I can have like multiple databases. So one of the database which I'm using is Weekend DB. Okay, so that will be the database. So right now we are just creating, and this will be the by default owner. So I'll just set him as the admin.
Also, can you please ping that server name?
Server name you will be able to see, like you will be able to get it under the same resource group itself. So server name is Weekend AD. That's all.
Okay.
So now we have created this particular server. So this is the new server which has been created. And if you see, you also see new here. So if it is an existing one, it will not just show new. So it will just keep as it is. So the new one we have just created it. So once we deploy the database, even this will also be deployed along with it. So next is, do you want to use SQL Elastic Pool? So Elastic Pool is like it provides you a simple and cost-effective solution for managing the performance of multiple databases within a fixed budget. So and basically this if you have allotted a 5 TB or for 10 TB or 15 TB of database, and you're not utilizing the database completely, or like you're not utilizing the same amount of like compute and storage. So in that particular case, what you can do is you can combine two or three databases within a same server, and then you can put them into an elastic pool. So by doing so, you will be sharing the compute resources together. So if you are not using the database, or if the database is not non-functional, then like by using elastic pool, you can just allocate the resources whenever it is required. So it will not be cost for the entire compute and storage, but it will be costed for whatever you use. So like it is shared between all the databases it contains, and databases within a pool only use the resources they need. So when they need it, so within configurable limits. So the price of the pool is based only on the amount of resources configured, and is independent of the number of databases it contains. So even though you have 10, 15 databases, it doesn't matter. You can just combine them and put it. So like once you use the resources, like only then it will be built according to the usage, and it will not be built according to the databases. So so this way, like you can like get a fixed amount of cost, and you can manage all your databases there in the elastic pool. So that is where this becomes helpful. So when you want to fine grain and fine tune and have like cost effective way, so you can use SQL Elastic Pool. And then we are having the workload environment. So we just choose whether it's a dev environment or a production environment. So if we choose production, automatically you see the hyperscale is being configured. So if I just choose development, then it will be general purpose serverless. So the cost will considerably be very less. So if you see, the cost is like $4.78, but when it's on the production front, when I'm using the high things, then it will cost me around $266 for the same amount of things. So here it will use two vCores, and it is zone redundant disabled. So it is standard series, so you can configure the database from here. But for now, we'll just keep it as development itself, because we're not pushing or moving any of the codes. We're not doing a production kind of an environment here. So we'll just keep it to general purpose. So we can just come to the configure section. So once you go to the configure section, you have various tiers, which is we have various tiers. These are the service tiers, and there are two types of them, which is DTU based, and another one is vCore based. So DTU is nothing but data transfer unit. So how many data transferred per unit? So based upon that, the billing will happen. So this is based purchasing model. So this is like for basic and all those things. The speed of this will not be higher, so you'll have considerably less speed compared to the vCore based model. So once you choose vCore, we again have these three layers, which is general purpose. This is most budget friendly, and then you have hyperscale, which is high scalable compute and storage, and you have business critical. So this is highest availability and performance it will give you. So these are the different service tiers which you have, and then you have the compute tier. So under compute tier, you have two things: provisioned and serverless. So provisioned is mainly used if you want your resources to be pre-allocated. So your database size is 240 GB, and you know that there is no particular incremental data onto it. So say for example, you're just maintaining every fact tables in just in one way, so you do not have much incremental data, but you know that you should have all this 240 GB of memory. So then you can use the provisioned tier. So compute resources are pre-allocated, and this is built per hour based on the vCores which have been configured. So
What is the
the
difference between serverless and this provision?
see, serverless is like auto scale. So as and when you're calling or using the database, so only then you can use the serverless. So this is like auto scaled. It will not have any kind of pre-allocated. So if you choose like 80 cores, so constantly your speed will remain the same, and up to 240 GB of memory. So you will not have any kind of lag. So your speed will be like there. So this speed will be provisioned as it is. So it will not fluctuate. So up to 128 cores you will definitely get, and up to 625 you will definitely get. So this will be pre-allocated. So Azure will allocate this amount of GB before itself, before in hand. So it will not deduce, or it will not like on the go. It will not keep on. See, when I'm querying, if I'm querying a table of like 5 TB of data, sorry, 5 GB of data, it is one time. Then I'm querying another table which is like containing like around 600 GB of data. So if I choose provisioned, all these memory will be allocated to me, and as per that, the billing will also be happening. But when I'm using serverless, so if I'm querying for the 5 GB of data, then I'm querying for 10 TB of data. So it will like only be billed per second based on the vCores which have been used, and it is auto scaled. So it can go up to 240, and like maximum vCores I can get is up to 80 vCores.
Okay, so
Okay,
which
so
is recommended provision?
like it is depends. So sometimes if you are like sure that this is the amount of pre dedication you want, and like you are querying this particular table or database multiple times, then you can just use provisioned. So if you are just like reading it like if you are reading it like not regularly, and if you are using them quite not often, then you can use the serverless option, because cost wise it will become very less.
Okay.
So right now I'm just applying this particular configuration for now. So I'm just clicking on apply. So this is the compute and storage which we have selected, and then again comes the backup. So here also we have the four layers as we discussed before. So since we are not working on any critical data, so since we are not working on any kind of critical data, so I'm just keeping this as locally redundant storage. Okay. So backup storage. So I'll just keep it as LRS. So next is the networking part. So again, I can just give some like second networking. If I want public endpoints and private endpoints, I can just give it over here.
So these activities are part of the data engineer or basically the admins provision
The
these activities.
admins provision this one. So you can give your suggestions on like what kind of database you want and those things to them.
Okay.
So just like you have like Microsoft Defender in your Windows system, so similarly we have like the Microsoft Defender for SQL. So you can just use this. So this is just like antivirus for your server. So any kind of vulnerability to protect from it, you have this Microsoft Defender for SQL. So for now, I'm just not going to configure it. We're just going to keep it as it is. So additional settings. So if you want to have any kind of sample data, or if you want to have like if you want to use any existing data, then you can choose this option. So you can just choose backup, and if you have like any kind of backups which you have, like any database backup you have, so you can just select the backup, and then you can like take the like have the data from the existing table.
But we're not going to have it right at this
Yeah,
moment.
yeah, yeah. So this will be your replicated backups. If you want to have like if you have a kind, you will be able to see it over here.
Is it
So
configuring the backup or it's no, no, I
no,
think it's
like this is like configuration. Like if you have any kind of backups, So for example, you're creating a new server from this server, like you're creating. So if you have any of your databases from any of the replicated backups, so you can see it from here.
Okay, it's not
So this
configuration
will
of the
allow
backup, but
you to
it's restoration of the backup to create a database.
restoration of the backup, which you can select. So that from the geo-replicated region, you can just select the backup and then you can use it. And then you have the sample database also, like sample database, like Adventure Works LT. So this sample database will be created. While this database gets created, this sample database will be created. So if you want, we can just use this one and we can just create a sample database. And you can
Mm.
also work on this Adventure Works LT sample database as well.
Karthik, one question regarding the backups. Where we should store the backup to have that accessible at this place.
So backup would be stored like once it is replicated. So once the database, like for any reason, like you are not able to like get the data, so it will be stored up as a backup, and like while recreating the database again, so you will be able to see the backup.
Yeah,
So it
like
will be
like.
stored in Azure itself. Like there is no specific place where I'm not sure like where it will be stored, but it will be
Mhm.
there on the backend.
Probably in the same subscription or something like that, or because
Yes.
yeah, okay, okay, because
So the compute and which is provided, like whatever the memory and everything which is provided for that subscription, so
mhm,
everything the backup and all will be holded there itself.
mhm. So probably in something like in a blob storage place, if we keep it, it will be available here or something like that. How that's the question. Like I'm
Yeah,
looking for, yeah.
so you can also store it in the blob region, but
Mm.
if it is a like database replication, so
Mm-hmm.
it will not be associated to any kind of blob storage. So
Okay.
instead, what will happen is like the entire database will be stored. So like a backup will be created. So that is the reason why we have these replication or the redundancy layers. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, it will be stored as a secondary backup layer in another region.
Ah,
So from
okay.
there, like you can just get it. So if for any reason like you're not able to get the data or the data center is not working in your primary region, then you can just take a backup from your secondary region, and then under backup you can just select the secondary region backup over here.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
So if you want any sample database, you can just create it. But for now, I'll just keep it as none because we are just going to create a table out of the file which we have. So if we remember, like in the previous class, we copied this a file from the blob storage to the ADLS. So now what we are going to do is like we are now
What was the
completely going
collation?
to
Collation was there?
where
This collation, database collation, what is that?
which one?
Just come below
Uh,
none. You see database collation,
the
SQL
collation.
LT1.
Okay, so maybe this is something called with respect to the
Um, maybe I could explain this.
Code
This
page.
is yeah, there's code page thing. Yeah, the way which you store the data, you can store the data in Latin and all those. The code page. Yeah, that's the thing. So
So,
here it is CIS is it is case insensitive and SN insensitive. Like when you store data here, it is CI the last two words CI and AS.
mm,
CI is
mm,
case insensitive. That means you can store it without any case. Like you know the uppercase and lowercase things. And the SN insensitive is like for France and all French words you have this accent words. So that is
mm.
SN insensitive here. So you will have multiple languages supporting system. So here it is Latin General CP1 CIAS.
So this is the standard one we should use or something else?
It depends. It depends upon your product projects.
so if you're like
This
working
is
in a
standard one
France
which
and like
comes with
yeah,
yeah.
this is the standard one like globally this is the one which we are using. So if you are specific to any particular region or anything, like Rahul mentioned, like if you are in France, like you have that accent. So there'll be a E and there'll be a top on top of E, there'll be like a character, right? So based upon
Mm.
that, like you can just choose it. If you are based upon like if all your users and they're not aware, like they're not good with English and they're familiar with their native language, so that they think they'll be able to use it here. So for now, I'm just keeping it as none, and then we're now going to review and create this one. So this is how we are going to create the server as well as the database. So initially, the server will be created, and on top of the server, the database will be created. So if you see, the server is being created first, and that is the one which will be accepted, and followed by that, the database will be created.
So Karthik, you directly created the database or you created the server first and then database?
I created the server first and then the database.
Okay, okay.
So if I have an existing server, I can use the existing server details and also create a database. But this is like specific to this particular batch. So I'm just created a new database server, and inside that I created a database.
Okay.
Karthik, the pool thing which you explained, the elastic pool thing, where you can where you said that we can have multiple databases in the SQL pool, so that the resources will be used very less. Is it the server you are putting in the pool or the databases?
The databases we are putting in the pool. So in the same server, so within the same server, we'll have like multiple databases. So if you
Yeah.
see, this is like one of my like server which I have on. This is like on-prem server. So in on-prem, if you see, have like multiple databases. So there is one API database, there is one customer database, there is one example database. So there is a product order database. So what I can do in an elastic pool is I can just combine all these three. So I know like for example, the customer base, in that like most of the tables will not change. Like maybe the product category and subcategory, like most of the times they'll not change. So there is no like I'm not inserting much data into this and I'm not using these tables. So what I can do is I can put them all in one single elastic pool, and they can share the compute across them. So if I'm using source DB, so the elastic pool will have all these things. So for an example, take all these things. So I'm
Mhm.
just using source DB as the database right now. So the resources which are allocated according for that elastic pool which I've got. So if you're using source DB, so majority of the things will be allocated to source DB. So if you're using product orders also in simultaneously, like based upon the like database size, so it will it will allocate the compute and storage accordingly.
So the database, like you said that the databases which are not having much changes, right? Those kind of change will be going to the um,
Yeah,
SQL pool, right?
yeah.
And which is on a which is having continuous changing happening. That won't go to SQL pool. Is that so?
That is not exactly the point. It can have like it is not mandatory like the one like which has less amount of changes. So like less usage and less compute. So instead of like using 5 GB or 15 GB pre-configured, so you can just like put them in an elastic pool. So
Okay.
like multiple small tables, smaller tables, instead of like giving each of them a separate configuration or a separate resource, you can just combine them and then put it in one single elastic pool.
Okay. That is kind of like initial thing which you
Yeah.
can do it for a project, and once it's done, it is that it is. You can't change
No,
it.
we can also change it. It's not
Okay.
that it is flexible. So you can just take a database out of the elastic pool as well. So if you know that we are using it completely different way, and we just want to isolate it, and we do not want to have them in the elastic pool, we can also do it that way.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we have some issues here. So let us just go back to the configuration again.
So Karthik, this elastic pool is having any limitation that how many databases I can?
No, there is no limitation. So you can have a number of resources or a number of database in an elastic pool.
Okay. And Karthik, what will be that scenario or point that will help me to identify that this is the moment that I need to put my databases in elastic pool? I mean, in which scenario I will put the any database to elastic pool?
See, if you have like less amount of data, like smaller databases,
Mm-hmm.
so if you have like multiple small databases, so you can just put them all in one single elastic pool. So for example, this test DB, so is going to, like I said, so we do not have any kind of incremental data which is coming in, and
Mm-hmm.
you know there is only fixed data which is there, and you're going to use that particular fixed data, and there is no incremental data which is going to come on top of it. So those particular types you can put them in a elastic pool, and also whatever like smaller databases you have. So in order to just combine them and then use them, you can use the elastic pool.
Okay, okay. So, Karthik, is it working like a cache memory that it will
Yeah.
cache it will not hit my database or other engines, right? Okay.
Yeah. I think we have some issues here. I think uh, the V course which we selected, edit template, is it? So guys, I'll just create a free SQL DB as of now, because we have now reached a more number of V cores. So that is for the free trial, we have exceeded a number of V cores. So that is the error we were getting, and that's the reason why we weren't able to continue with the creation of the database. So for now, I'll just use this free Azure SQL database. So for a month, I think it will be free. So till the free trial expires, we can just use this one. Okay. So I'm just going to review and create it. So it is just going to be a normal one. Okay.
So what is the difference only? You've created to other one means for which is the difference parameter,
See, this
different
is like
parameter.
a free one. So for a certain amount of time, it will be free, and it will just use less configuration. I'm so-
which parameter actually different than the previous one? Is it serverless or which one?
So this has used serverless.
So this is the only difference compared to
Oh no, it is just less vCores, and this is the okay.
this is also failing.
Just trying to recreate it now. Let us just see it. Okay, so just give me a moment. I'll just be back. Okay. Okay, so this one has also failed, is it? Maybe we have used so many SQL databases. Instead of using vCore, I'll just use the DTO based model. Okay. So I've just not changed much. I've just only changed the configuration details to be DTU. So since like we are getting errors with the vCores, so I'm just proceeding with the data transfer units. So let us just see. Once this is deployed, we'll just see the copy data activity. And before that, we'll just go to the storage account. So This is the AT storage which we created.
So basically, this will be kind of an your. If I typically take off, it will be your bronze layer, right? Kind where you are
Mm,
just putting the source data as it is, something like that,
yeah,
or
yeah, something similar to that one. So it is like similar to that.
so until unless we put into a database, there is from the ADLS layers, there is no way we can query the data, right? Via any query editor.
Sorry.
I mean, I mean to say that right now the data is in the ADLS as an CSV file, right?
Yeah.
So until unless we put into a database,
Hmm.
we cannot query the data using any query editor, right?
Yeah,
SQL
that's
editor.
correct.
Okay. And let's say if the file would have been Parquet, how could from Parquet also it is possible to ingest into an SQL Server database, or
Uh, no. Yeah, from Parquet as well. You can just ingest it. So we just need to define, and then we just need to ingest it according in that way. So the file format, we just choose it as Parquet, and then
Hmm.
it will still be in the same table structure like how it is here.
Because Parquet we don't understand the structure, means we cannot see it, right?
Yeah,
Like
but
CSV.
the copy data activity will be able to parse it. So the source and sink which we are using here, and the
Hmm.
delimiter which the data set which we are using, so that will
Hmm.
be able to parse it. So while creating any database, we give the file format, right? So for example, this is the file here. So if I just choose any file system, for example, it will give me this to choose the format of the file format here. So here I'll just choose this file format to be Parquet. So then the application will be able to parse and get the information from this
Hmm.
Parquet file.
Okay.
Got it? So yeah.
Mhm.
So now if you see guys, like this is in a date format, but we are getting it in a string format. So what I will do is I'll just change the data type of this one here to date time.
For the
So
sync.
yeah, this will be for the source as well as for the sink.
Source means source is already there in the file, right? Means why need to
Yeah.
change the source?
See, we do not have option. Like as and when the import is there, so if it is a file, we do not have an option to typecast it. So that is the reason if we just put it on the source front itself, it will be taken in the same format at the sink as well. So whatever format we have it in the source, so it will be
Hmm.
replicated in the sink as well.
Okay.
So right now we just want the sync to be in this date time format. So for that reason, I've just added this one. So let me just debug this again. So let me see if we have the right data types there. Okay. Okay, we will see if that deployment is done. Why is there so much of conflict, dude? Okay, secure authentication is only given. So guys, instead of using creating the new one, I'll just use the existing one from any of these servers, and we'll just try to do it. Maybe the free general purpose vCores, whichever we have used. So I think it has exceeded the limit. Okay, so that's the reason why we are not able to configure a new one, since this is a free trial. So I'll just look into that one. But yeah, we'll use this existing SQL server, and then we'll just try to copy the data onto this SQL server. So this is AD December. So I'll just, it's previewing the data. So again, for this also, it's the same, guys. So the username is the same. So it is admin login, and also the password is December at 2025. Okay. So this is your free SQL DB. So this is the DB which is there. So if you see, I have these three tables over here. So basically what I'll do is I'll just try to copy the data into any one of these tables. So this has succeeded right now.
Succeeded means which one? Can you just show?
The copy data which we did. So the
Yeah,
one we just changed the data type. So we'll just
okay.
see whether, okay, we'll just just take this as an input, and then we'll see if we are able to map it, if the mapping has come correctly. Okay, so if you remember previous class, we did blob to ADLS. So now in this class, we are going to do ADLS to SQL. So we are going to copy this particular data into the SQL table. Okay.
So are you creating a new pipeline, or can't we do it in the same pipeline? First copy this and then do the
Yeah,
same
we can
pipeline.
do it. We can do it. But for the understanding purpose, I'm just creating a new one. So you can do it. You can just connect one activity to another activity, and we can just do it. It's not like we'll have to create a new pipeline.
The pipeline, the previous pipeline is showing under pipelines, right? If you just expand the
Yeah,
pipeline, it shows, right? Pipeline one. Let me just expand it.
yeah.
ADLS
You see the blob to
to,
ADLS and ADLS to SQL.
mm.
So delimited text file is the one which I'm going to use because this already has the data here. And now in the sync, we are going to create a new data set. So since this is in Azure itself, so you can just go to Azure, and if you scroll down, you'll be able to see Azure SQL database. So I'm just selecting Azure SQL database. So we are now going to create a data set for that particular resource. Okay, so Azure SQL database is a resource, and now we are going to create a like connection for the same. So again, we have the link service which we need to create. So this one, I'll just name it as ADLS to SQL, so that I just understand the data set, or if I'm using the data set, I'll be able to do it.
So every time we create a new link service, or same can be reused multiple times.
Same can be used.
So now let's say in this database you have created a new one. So in this database again we need to write something from some other layer. Then let's say in the silver layer, right? So again we can use this same link service.
Yeah,
All of these are done manually at the time of configuration, or who does these activities?
this we only do as a data engineer. So we need to configure and build the link service and all these things. So we only have to do it. So this is the SQL authentication which I'm going to give. So AD December is the server name, and until this is the server which we are going to choose. This is the database free SQL DB 775709. So this is the one. So which we are going to select. where
Server
data
name
tab.
was dot windows dot net something that is not needed.
No. So this is 7759709. So this is the one which you can give. And then you have the database name which we selected, and we have given the database name. So the server name automatically you can choose. This is like from the Azure subscription itself. So once you enter manually, then you have to enter the server details over here. So if
Okay.
you go here, like then I have to enter the like server details and those things. So if I just go to the overview here on the database, so I'll be able to get my server name from here. So just copy your server name from here under the overview tab and then paste it over here. So this is your server name, and then you can type the name of your database. And then you can give the SQL authentication method. You can use the username and password directly, or you can also use it from an Azure Key Vault as well. Okay, so right now we'll just select it from the Azure subscription. So since it is there in the same subscription, so I'm using the SQL authentication, and admin login is the username, and then the password is December at the rate 2025. So if you see, the connection is successful right now. So I'm just creating this one. So this particular link like data set is now created, but I do not have any table. So these are the tables which are there, but I do not want to use or ingest the data in the same table. So instead, I'll just enter it manually and just click on OK. Okay. So I'll try to import the schema to see whether okay. So here I'll just write operation. I'll just click on insert, and here I'll just use auto create table. Okay. So the table will be created once it is like the table will be created automatically, auto created by using the same data here. And for that, before, like, we just have to give the table name here. So we just need to provide the table name. So the
Where?
table name
Eh,
here under the data set. So here this is the scholarship table. So I'm just going to just write dbo.scholarship. This is the schema name, and this is the table name.
But let's say if I want to have multiple data, multiple files, and I need to insert them in multiple tables. Okay, so then how do we do it? In for each of the table means we need to create separate data sets.
No, we can use the same data set. So we can make use of parameters, and then you can just pass the parameters during the runtime. So the table name and all these things you can just pass during the runtime. So for one source, you can just create one link service and one single data set itself. So that is more than enough. So using the same thing, you can use parameters, and then you can keep on changing the parameters, and you will be able to ingest multiple tables using that. So that is the reason why we have parameters, so that like for each and everything, like creating the data set will create an issue, right? So you cannot again go ahead and create a data set for each and everything. So for one source, you can create one single link service and one single data set, and you can use parameters, and you can pass the parameters during runtime, all while execution, and then do it accordingly.
So Karthik, will you show this
Yeah,
parameterization
yeah,
thing?
yes, definitely. So that will cover in the further classes. But for now, we'll just have this things here. So these details we have just given right now. So the source and the sink details we have just given. So we are going to auto create the table, and the table will be automatically created. And here, if you go, you can just write any kind of pre-copy script as well. So if you want to write any script, like if you want to select only certain columns and certain rows, and if you want to say,
Pre-SQL
yeah,
kind of. In Power
Yeah,
Center,
any
you do
script.
step,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, any kind of coding if you want to do, you can just involve that coding over here into the sync. So I'm just importing the mapping to see whether okay, still that one did not change. Okay, so whatever is there in the file, so only those particular format will be getting. Okay, guys. So in the file only,
So
like we just have to update it or change it.
so now in your database, the table, while we created the table,
Hmm.
uh, you have not mentioned the column, right? You have not created the columns, means how it will create the table automatically, and the
Yeah,
column, the date time, instead of date time, it will create the column as in string, you are saying.
yes, that's correct. So
There is
then
no
we can
way.
go ahead and alter the table. So let me just try the alter script here and see if this works. Because the table is not created, I'll not be able to alter it over here.
Mm, mm.
So that is the reason.
There,
Let
there
me
is
just
no
check.
there,
Okay.
there is no PostSQL like pre-SQL. There is no PostSQL.
Mm,
PostSQL would have done this,
yeah,
right? Because there is no PostSQL here.
pre-copy. Yeah, no, post SQL is not there. Only pre-copy is there. So post is not there. So even if I alter the table here, uh, if the table is created only then it will work.
Hmm.
I have to apply this alter table after creating it. So I'll just try to alter auto create now, and then we'll just try to change the data type in the SQL database itself. Okay. So for now, just keep it as it is. So we are auto creating the table, and then we will validate once file path is a folder, the wildcard delimited text. Okay, so here we just need to select that file. Was this the one? Yes, that. Okay, we've just validated. Now we'll debug the file, debug this particular pipeline. So this will run it and it will just create a new table within our SQL database. Okay. So the scholarship table has been created here. So if you see, these are the data types. So if I just want to alter the table, I'll just use the alter table statement, dbo alter column scholarship. think that time should be supported. Let us just see. Okay.
You should run it together, right? Both.
Hmm.
Alter table, alter column. There might be some data in that table.
Hmm. Empty data should also be there, so that is
Yeah.
the reason. Yeah, there is one empty line here. So even if you just see the preview of data, there is one empty data type. So that is the reason it is not able to pass. So if you see there is like a empty row here.
How come the entry? Okay, I think in a source file it is there, or how?
Yeah, in the source file only it is there.
You can't drop it also now. Delete
Hmm.
it also now.
You are missing brackets after values.
Yeah. Yeah, still this particular row is empty, guys. So maybe
You cannot delete it because there is no identifier,
uh,
right? How do you know that you're
You,
deleting this last one?
you can do like
index, yeah, we can.
with null,
Where
right?
you have the
With
null, where it
null
is
or
null.
blank, which is yeah.
Try something.
I think it's blank only.
For now, I'll just give a blank. Let us see. Or maybe I'll just give a null later on. No
No, you
rows
can delete.
affected.
No, you have to put is null, right? It's null.
Mm. Well, this is affected it.
Yeah.
Now try to query the table once and see. Yeah, this is fine. We'll now try the conversion and see if this is working.
You have the data, right? So you are thinking you have to truncate and then probably you can do
Hmm.
it.
Yeah.
You don't truncate and
So,
just rerun the mapping, it will reload the data, right? Now, if what I mean to say that just truncate the table, okay,
mhm.
change the type, and then I can run the insert job, means that the pipeline to
Yeah, we
job.
can also do that. Yeah. The table is now created, so we can just
Mm-mm,
truncate the table.
mm. And then rerun the job again. Change and not.
Okay, table is truncated. Uh, Onto the table now, and then we'll just try to rerun the job again.
Debug is the run or what? Debug means debug, right? Not the run the job.
Debug is just a test run. So it will do the testing and you can still test it out. So whatever you test it out, it will still be there.
So it's not testing, it is actually inserting the data, right?
Yeah, it is inserting the data. So you will test this in the dev environment, right? So before building and publishing the code. So you will all be doing it in the dev environment.
So, and then what is the actual, so in dev environment is always a debug, right? Let's say I want to execute a workflow. What is that? Or a map, I want to run a mapping. So what is the what is that? There is no run mapping or something like that.
No.
It's always a debug.
Yeah.
So while debug, we need to just see the logs, right? And then we determine what's the error we are facing.
Yeah.
So
So in the
everything we are
output,
going to see the
you'll be
logs.
able to get the logs, or you can also go to the monitor section and here you
Mhm.
also have the debug runs. So all of them have succeeded. If you have any kinds of failures, you'll be able to get it from here as well.
Okay. So in dev, we are only going to focus on logs, and we are going to focus clicking on debug. We are going to see the errors, and once we deploy in production, then we see some on some other environments like Grafana or some other things. We need to monitor the errors, right?
No, but there can be a scenario, right? Means before moving to production, I want to do the test, do the actual data loading testing in the dev. Okay, so I want to do the
Mhm.
data loading in dev. So in that case, instead of debug, anything else is there, or is it
Yeah,
just
you see here we can actually publish the pipeline. So before you are moving into production, like you will first publish the pipeline. You will just like publish all, and then you will just move
Mhm.
your data from your feature branch to the main branch. So you will
Mhm.
be mainly doing everything in the feature branch. So you'll not be
Mhm.
able to publish from your feature branch. So you will
Mhm.
move all your data into the main branch, like whatever development you have done. So you will
mm,
raise a PR, like which is a pull request to the main
mm,
branch. So once your PR is approved by any of your peers,
mm,
so it will go into the main branch. So from the
mm.
main branch, you will be able to orchestrate and like do things. So there you will be able to publish and test and like automation, you will be able to test it once it's gone into the main branch.
So from the main branch, I can put data, I can test in the test environment, I can do the development, and means I can
No, no,
do.
no. Once it's going to the main branch, so from the main
Mhm.
branch, you have to push the changes to the like the test environment. So main branch is nothing but your main branch in the development environment. So again, this code you will be pushing it into the test environment. So there
Mm,
you will have some test data. So all of these things will be pre-written, like all these things like for example, this copy data. Right
mm.
now it is there, but I know that source is not having. So what I'll do is like before moving on, I'll just prepare all these statements, and at the time of this activity when it is going to move into the test environment. So this table will be created in the test environment. So then again, I'll just give this alter statement there so that it will alter the date and time, and I can just have it. So like this, it will automatically get created on each and every environment. So that is the automation, and that is the CI/CD which we do. So once it goes to the main branch, then you have to like push these changes onto a next like testing branch. And once everything is tested and it is working fine, so your automation and everything is complete and you are just satisfied with the results, then you can just move it on to the production environment.
Okay, so the debug you did the debug is actually inserting the data, right? Means
Yeah, it will insert the data. It will practically work like a trigger itself.
okay, that
But
was my question.
it is not publishing your changes.
Okay.
So it will trigger and it will just reflect in your storage account. So
Mm,
everything will be done. But if I'm just closing this and then relaunching this particular data factory again,
mm,
all these changes which I've done, it will not reflect.
okay.
But
Okay,
this
so
table
yeah.
which I've created using the debug, so that will remain the same. So whatever table which I've created now on the debug, so that will be as it is. So the scholarship table will be there. But if I just reopen and close without publishing, like my changes will not get reflected. For example, I'll just publish all these one and I'll just create a new one, okay? And I'll just close and reopen this data factory again. Okay, so this is the new pipeline which I'm just adding, but I've not published this one.
Karthik, the moment we click on publish button, it is publishing code or uploading this code to GitHub, or it is uploading to the Azure itself.
So here in this here we have not configured it to the GitHub. So this is the non-GitHub configured. So
Mhm.
once it is configured to GitHub, so if I go here in another data factory here, so
Mm-hmm.
if I just give on publish, or if I also give on save all, so publish
Mhm.
I'll not be able to do it because it is in the feature branch. Only in the main branch I'll be able to publish my code and just give a changes. So if I'm working on a feature, so I'm a developer right now. So I will create a new feature branch on top of my main branch. Then I'll just make all my changes here. And if I'm still not like ready with my pipeline, I just need few more details or few more things which I need to add. So I'll be working on it again tomorrow. So what I can do is I can just click on save all. So this will save my pipeline and it will just keep it as it is. So in my feature, I will be able to see this. So if I go to my repository in my feature branch, I'll be able to still see this changes. So this will be saved. So once I just move this changes onto my main branch. So if I go to main branch, this on-prem to SQL, this not be there. Uh, yeah, this pipeline will not be there if I go to my main branch. So this is I've just switched to main branch. So this pipeline is only not there if you see. But once I move this data into the feature from my feature to the main branch, then it will be there. So feature 2712 is the branch which it has. So right now, if I raise a PR from this branch to the main branch, then whatever changes I have, it will be merged there. So your save changes and everything will be saved in this particular feature branch itself. So publish will be done on the main branch itself.
Okay.
So
Okay.
even if I raise a PR from here and if it is not published in the main branch, then it will still not reflect. So that is one thing.
Okay.
So whatever I save here on the local, it will be saved in the Azure itself. But once it is connected to the repository, it will be
Mhm.
stored in the repository.
And under which repository it is saving, Karthik?
Here it will be stored on the default ADF itself. It will not store under any kind of repository. So like
Mm.
default ADF templates only, it will just store it and all the things will be published on the default pipeline itself. So once you connect to a repository, then your code and everything will be stored in that repository.
Okay.
So right now you have just saved it or what? or not saved it.
Yeah, this one I've just saved it. Just published all the changes. So if I just close the unpublished one, so this pipeline one, so it is still not published. Okay, so if I just close and reopen this particular ADF again, so this pipeline one will not reflect. So if I publish, then it will just be reflected. If I do not publish, then whatever changes which I've made, it will just
Mm,
go away. But whatever activity which I've done, like the copy or creation of table which I debugged and everything, so those will be there. So this table will still be there. So the copy data which we created, it will still
mm.
be there.
The database, right?
Yeah, but the copy data activity will not be visible once
Mm,
you close this and open that again if you do not publish it.
mm, mm.
Okay, so hope you are clear now, guys. So this is how we copy the data from ADLS to SQL. So from file to a database. So you can click on auto create table, which will automatically create the table. If it does not exist, it will create the new table. And if you want to just alter any kinds of schemas and everything, you can go ahead and truncate the table and then also just change the schema and alter the table and rerun the pipeline, because like since it is directly coming from the source file, you'll not be able to do the mapping here. So if it is from a database or any other point, you can just do the typecasting over here, and you can map them accordingly. But since this is coming from the source directly, so we are not able to change the source data type and mapping over here. So that is the reason why we are changing it from the SQL database table itself.
Okay, so same thing comes in the picture when we do some data cleaning part, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Before going to other like a set of
yeah,
destination. Okay. So one thing I need to clear is in development as we do on our local dev, and then we create feature branch, and we move our changes on the main branch like master branch. So same thing we are following
yeah,
here,
yeah.
right?
Yes, similar thing.
On Azure, we are working as a local, and feature branch is our local branch. We
Yeah,
create when we work some kind of like rough work, and then we'll do debug, and then after finally we move on master branch, right?
yes,
That is
that's
the main
correct.
branch.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, thank you.
So just like this, you will be if you are you will be given a task like to create or update any changes onto this particular pipeline. So main branch will be running as it is. So you will create a new branch from the main branch. So click on new branch over here, and based upon the main branch, you will create a new feature branch,
Feature
and
branch.
then you'll work on your changes in the feature
That
branch.
and feature
So once
branch.
you have worked on your feature branch, then you will be pushing all your changes to the main branch. You will raise a
Main.
PR, so that will be reviewed and approved by any of your peers. So once it is reviewed and approved, you can merge your changes into your main branch. So main branch will have the like main branch or the master branch, you can call it, or dev branch. There are like many names you can just call it upon, but that is your main branch where the code is actually that is your main repository where all the existing code and all your existing pipelines and everything are relying. So from that main branch, you can basically move it to the different environments like test environment or production environment accordingly.
Okay, so here in Azure, as our Git is configured already, right? So,
Yeah,
uh,
right now Git is not configured with the Azure ADF which I created. It is not configured. We can configure Git later on. So I'll just show
yeah,
you
yeah,
like how
right.
you can
So,
configure the
yeah,
Git. Yeah,
so my question is, once we configure the Git in Azure, like Azure portal, and in regular development work, we see the like uh, when we do some commit, then we see some reflect like merge or conflict, right? All these things we are going to handle here on UI only, right? We don't need to use on any command prompt.
yeah. We can either use the command prompt or use the UI itself. So you
Okay.
have all the both options as well. So if your Git is like configured and you're using command line interface, you can do it there as well, and you can do it online as well.
Okay, then it's cylinder. Yeah, thank you.
So any doubts so far, guys, on whatever we have covered? So right now we covered two things, like we have done blob to ADLS, which is again Azure to Azure, and then uh, we just copied one file to a database. So this is what we have done so far. So if you have any kinds of doubts so far, you can just ask me. If not, we'll just proceed further, and I'll just try to cover the on-prem as well. We'll copy the data from on-prem to the cloud as well. Now.
So the Git part had got some question, but anyway, I think we can proceed, right?
Yeah, yeah. We'll just cover it once you just have a just make a note of it. So
Mm.
let's just cover it once I cover the Git part. So if you have any kinds of doubts with that, we'll just address it there, because it will be confusing for others if we just take it up
Mm.
here. Okay.
Mm.
So anything which we have covered so far, if you
So,
have any doubts, you can just go ahead and ask.
so Karthik, one small doubt I have, as I'm new here, new in Azure. So I have, first we have done for blob to ADLS. We got some data from source to as a blob, and we put as a destination or sync in ADLS, right?
Yeah,
Azure Data Lake Storage,
yeah,
and then we pull that data from Azure Data Lake Storage to SQL, right?
yeah. We
We
created a
created some
table from
dynamic
that
data
particular
and
file.
we posted there. So, what is the data factory, Azure Data Factory, what we are creating here? So, is it on the layer where we are working as Azure Data Lake Storage? That is the same as Data Factory.
No, like data lake storage is a storage element, and data factory is like a ETL tool. So it will basically act like a ETL tool, so where you can perform all the ETL tasks. So you can extract, transform, and load the data using the data factory. So this is where like we build the pipelines and we specify the logic from where to extract and then load and where to store and all these things. So your SQL and ADLS, all these are like storage elements, right? Like
Okay,
where
so
you
that
store that
thing
actual
we are
data.
not we have
Yeah,
not
here,
covered that thing now.
which one?
And Azure Data Factory.
So this is Azure Data Factory actually. So what you see is a Data Factory studio here. So all these are like
Okay,
Data
so
Factory.
in that, yeah, Data Factory, in that only we are doing all these things, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
Azure
Eh,
Data Factory is a ETL tool. So there we perform all the extractions, transformation, and loading. So extraction we are just doing from one blob storage, and then we are loading it to ADLS. So if there is any kind of in between transformations which we do, we can add pipelines, and then we can add activities and do the transformation as well.
Okay. Actually, first recording I didn't get first recording yet. So today you posted like recording uploaded, but from where I can get that recording I didn't get. So could you please help me from where I can find
Like
it?
who is your recruiter? Like who recruited you? Is it
Varsini, actually
Varsini?
yesterday I posted some message, but she was on leave yesterday. So
Okay.
today only I didn't get any reply on that.
Okay. So
So
just
that's why
help
I
me
was
with
unable
your
to get
email.
anything.
Just type your email here. I'll just give you access right away. So two classes have been done, right, guys? So two classes recordings I've just added. If you're able, these are the two recordings, okay?
Okay.
Karthik, one question I have got. So now, so for example, let's say you have get the data from blob to ADLS and then inserted into an SQL database, right? So typically, right, let's say you have got there is a, let's say, project or where you need to let's say it's a data warehouse project where you need to get the files and load data into your data warehouse. Okay.
Mhm.
And there might be some transformation also there in between. So why I need this SQL database? I don't need it. That means I can have the data from the Azure blob storage, or I can read data from SFTP location also, right?
Yes, you can, but like incremental and these things, like we have this dimensions and those things, right? So for those, we use the tables and the underlying data, which is like which these tables will have. The data will be stored in the ADLS itself. So the underlying data which would be there on these tables. So those will be stored as like Parquet files or Delta tables using the ADLS file path itself.
No, but you have inserted a data
Here,
into the
like we have inserted into an SQL database. We
uh,
have just created a database. But
uh,
once we go on to the Databricks and start using Databricks and create tables using Databricks or
mm,
create external tables like
mm,
using
mm,
Databricks, so
mm.
there like all the data will be stored in the underlying like ADLS.
ADLS.
Yeah,
Yeah. So basically, so now let's say
you
if
have to
all
read the data from the mount point and you have to write the data into the mount point.
yeah, and let's say I want to query the data into the ADLS. How do I query? Let's say I've the preferred methodology is Parquet. Okay, so I'm generating Parquet for all the layers. Let's say in the bronze layer I have generated a Parquet. In the silver layer I also generated the Parquet. So now I want to query them. So is it a which query editor we should use?
You can use Databricks and any of the PySpark or SQL, whichever uses. So you just need to give the path details, and then you just need to query it.
Okay, and this just for your example, you show use this at SQL Server database, but normally we don't need it, right?
No. So normally we'll be creating delta tables or anything, and also sometimes we would be creating synapse tables as well. So
Mm,
your warehouse will be different. So yeah, now like SQL database cannot be your final warehouse. So it can be like
mm.
any one of your sources. So you can just get it. You can have some small layer of data there, and then treat it as a source. Yeah,
So earlier days, people used to have the database only, right? In database only, they used to
yeah, yeah,
maintain three different layers: silver, bronze, silver, all those things.
yeah,
But nowadays, it's just the ADLS storage, right? No
yeah,
database.
yeah. So now
Uh,
once it is moved to cloud and things like that, we have
mm,
like delta tables and this clouds. So
mm,
they make use of these Delta ADLS paths and storage. So
mm,
previously in on-prem and everything, like you still your data warehouse will be
mm.
typically a database itself.
Yeah, now let's say situation where we need to update a particular record. Let's say in the bronze layer, I need to update a particular record. Okay. Earlier days, I simply connect to the database, go to the table with the identifier, I run the update query. Here, how we'll do that? All those
Similarly,
things.
it works here.
It's a
There's
Parquet
no
file,
much,
right? It's a
no
Parquet
much
file.
difference.
Okay, in the
See,
Parquet
the
file,
update will happen. So similarly, like it is just a table. The file is the data which is stored is only in the Parquet.
mm,
But you're querying the data, see, for example, this is the file system. So
mm,
like I have like 10 records. Okay. So this one particular record, like this up until 25th. So
mm,
this will be stored in one particular Parquet file. So if
mm,
I'm just inserting another data, new data, so this data I'm inserting now. So this will be created and this will be stored in another Parquet file. So while you are updating, what happens is it will just read that chunk from that particular Parquet file. So in database, what happens it used to like read the entire database, but
mm,
here once it is in a delta table or any particular file, so it will just
mm.
read the particular Parquet file. That's all, and then it will just
So
update.
okay, then you have to while means how to use the editor that you are going to show.
Yeah.
Uh,
So similarly, the editor is nothing but you can once it is created in a table, so the underlying data
filtering.
will only be there in the Parquet. That's all. So this data will be there in the Parquet file. That's all. So you can still update the data while going to the by going to the database. So your database can be like if you are using Synapse as your final database, you can just go to Synapse SQL editor and then do it. Or you can just open a notebook and then write an update query there as well. Or you
But
can just connect to the server details and you can just write an update query in SQL in your SSMS as well.
no, well, that is on the final layer, Azure Synapse. But let's say intermediate layer, like I am using this Azure ADLS storages, right? So there,
Mhm.
can I run the update command?
Yeah, yeah. Once it's stored as a table, then you can just run a update command there as well.
Okay, but not in if simply if
See,
I
I
don't.
cannot go and change the data, like how I can change it in a file in a scholarship CSV. So here I can just go ahead and edit and just add a row or column over here. But if it is a Parquet or any other file
Mm,
format, I'll not be able to do it. So see here, this is like an
mm.
empty row. This I just added there. So that is the reason, like it is showing an empty column here, and we were seeing. So I can just make edits and then I can just save all these here over here.
Mm.
But when it comes to a Parquet file, I'll not be able to do it.
So then I have to use this delta lake table. If they are
Yeah,
stored as a delta lake, then only I can query them with using normal SQLs and can perform those
yeah,
SQL activities. It okay.
yeah. Okay, so if we're done, we'll just move on to the next part. So now we will see like how to copy the data from our local like on-prem systems to the cloud. Okay. So see, the pipeline one was not published. Even when I closed and reopened it, it is not visible. So only once I publish them, it will be visible. So now again, I'm just going to use a copy data activity. So here we are going to copy the data right now from on-prem to the cloud. So it can be any of your cloud on-prem resources. Like for example, it can be your different databases or cloud services. So for example, it can be your DB2 or it can be your IBM or it can be MySQL or PostgreSQL, SAP or SQL Server. All these things, if you just want to connect Hive, so all these are your different on-prem like storage databases which you will be having to a data warehouse where we will be storing the data, and then we will consume the data for getting insights and analysis. So from all these different databases, on-prem databases, you can copy the data uh, into the cloud platform. So this is like a SSMS which I have installed on my machine. So this is like an on-prem system. So all this data and all these things are within this particular system itself. So if I go to my C drive and then go to locate this Microsoft SQL, so all the data and everything which is there present here will be stored in that particular C drive location itself. So similarly here in the this is like with regard to on-prem. So this all the data which is there in the on-prem. So if I just want to migrate to the cloud, so how I can do it is the ingestion type which we are going to look into right now. But this thing will just change because we'll be creating a like auto resolve integration runtime will be created. So instead of using the auto resolve integration runtime, so we'll be creating something called as a self-hosted integration runtime. So this is the self-hosted integration runtime.
Why?
See, like auto resolve integration runtime is a integration runtime. Like I said, it is a compute resource. So compute and storage will be provided by the integration runtime. So integration runtime, if it is in see all that we have seen right now, so all the services and resources were part of Azure itself. So they were from Azure directly. So like Blob was from Azure itself, and SQL database which we created for was from Azure itself. So once
Mm.
it is there from Azure, then it will not have any like issues. So it will using the same integration runtime. But integration runtime or the Azure will not be able to identify my local machine, right? So in order for the local machine to connect with the Azure, so I'll
Not
be
local machine for any third party thing. We need to
yes,
have this. Okay,
local machine or a virtual machine, or if you have any anything which is posted,
third party system.
yeah, which
So
is out away from like the crowd. See, some of them you have like not exactly everything third party. See, cloud applications which are there in third party as well, you will be able to access them. See, even if this, see, Amazon Redshift is again a cloud third party, but here also you will be able to use auto resolve itself. You do not require self-hosted integration runtime here because it is connected to the cloud. So it will just get the database and the host details from here. So as long as it is not, as long as it is on-prem and it is not any kind of cloud platform, so you will be able to use the like you will be able to use
You're saying other way.
yeah, yeah,
As long as it is cloud, this Azure subscription that will work. But if it is not on any cloud, we need to have self-hosted.
yeah, that's correct. So if it is not part of any cloud platform and it is completely on like on-prem or any other third party, then
Hmm.
you have to use the self-hosted integration runtime. So this is where you create a self-hosted integration runtime. So this is used to running activities in an on-premises or private network. So you can just uh, click on this option and then click on continue, and you can just give create your integration runtime over here. So in order to create, you just need to download and install an application. So if I just click on create here, integration runtime one, so it will just ask me to download and install an application. So I already have it installed here. So this is I'm using it from another resource, but it is already installed here. So this is how it will show it.
No, no,
So
but tell me one thing. In actual case, Karthik, you have installed in your local machine, but
yeah,
the admin will configure in some other in dedicated server or
yeah.
where? How?
Yeah, the admin will configure it in the server, or he'll just download it in the virtual machine, whichever he's using, and
Hmm.
he'll just connect that virtual machine or any servers into this Azure cloud. So basically,
So
the
bas
service has to be running, and it has to run this particular service in the background. So to get this connected,
The service should run on the SQL Server side, right? In the virtual machine where the on-premise SQL Server is hosted, right?
no.
Or on
Just
the Azure
I
side.
think on the Azure side, I think.
so it has to
Karthik?
be see if the yeah, both ways it has to be doing running. So if I'm using SSMS here, so this SSMS service should also be running, and my integration runtime service should also be running. So if I goes to services.msc, so see even this service which is there,
No.
the SQL server,
His
yeah,
question was, I think, correct me, whether we need to have this service running in Azure as well as on the on-premise database both. I think it's
yeah,
needed
both,
only one place. No. On-premise service will be running separately.
yeah.
This self-hosted thing we just need to you just needs to install in any of the virtual machine on the Azure side.
No. On the
No,
Azure side, it is not required. On the
Azure side there is nothing you can do, right? Yeah.
yeah.
No,
So
I
you
mean to
just
say
have to
that.
install this particular
Hmm.
application. So even in your Azure, if you have a VM here,
That's what I'm
so
saying.
even
Azure side means
yeah,
Azure VM.
yeah,
In the
even in
Azure
Azure
VM,
VM also, you have to install this particular application.
Means
instead of
where the on-premise SQL Server is there,
Yeah,
there you have to install this
yes,
service.
that's correct.
Yeah.
So for example, see, I have a Azure subscription. So I have built a virtual machine here. So I just create a VM. So inside this VM, I already have inside this VM, there is a SQL server. Okay, so if there is an SQL server and I have to get data from this particular SQL server, which is there in this virtual machine, then again I have to create I have to create a link service, on-prem link service for this one as well.
So I'm telling you a situation. Let's say there's Oracle database somewhere, okay, in an
Yeah.
organization. Okay. Now Oracle database is running. Where now I should be installing this self-hosted client.
So wherever the Oracle database is actually running and you are having the data, so there it has to be installed.
Their database, so we download it and give it to their admins or DBA. They will install it in the
Yeah,
Oracle database server, and then they will give us the some details or some
uh,
connective.
that's all. They just give us once they just do it, once they install it on their machines. So here right now, see, integration like this will be created, and I can use the server name, database name, and all the details here further on. So these details I just need to give them manually. So I'm just going to use the link self-hosted because I already have the self-hosted which has been created. Okay, so this is the integration runtime, and then I can just use it from another resource which is inside the
You
yeah.
have used in your database local because you have got some certain database over in your local desktop, right? Or what, Karthik?
Sorry.
You have installed it in your local desktop, right? This
Yeah,
self-hosted thing, and you are reading data from your own database desktop.
yeah, I'm reading data from my own desktop. So what we are going to do is we are going to copy any one of these tables into the cloud. So these tables are there present in my on-prem right now. So I'm just trying to migrate or put it into another cloud. That's all. Resource ID, have to get it from the other subscription only. This is the one which we are using right now, right? ADF 2026 Jan.
Resource group.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share. So this particular integration runtime was created for this particular data factory. So if I want to use the like this to another data factory, so if it is there in the same subscription, then I can just share it along. So I can just share it to this particular ADF 2026 Jan as well. So that is what I'm just doing here. So you can just go to the share option, and then you can just add this one over here, and then your link service will be shared to this particular resource as well. Okay, so I'm just clicking on apply, and if I go to my ADF right now, I think I'll be able to use that particular integration runtime. So this particular resource ID, we just have to copy it and then paste it over here and then create this. Still it is showing it's not active. Let me just discard the changes. I'll just see why the integration runtime is not working here. Okay, now it is running. If you see here, it shows as self-hosted and it is linked right now. So we are going to select the SQL database. So from the on-prem, so we're going to select SQL Server here and then click on continue. The link service, we are going to create one now. So we are going to use the integration runtime 2 and then the server name is this one. And then I'll just connect to AP database. Okay, so this is the database I'll use. And then username is admin at November. So this is the login username I've given. And the password is November@2025. So now I'm just going to test the connection. So if the connection is successful, I'm going to create this particular new link service.
The password was December@2025, right?
Is it? Oh, no, this is for my on-prem. On-prem, it should be the same.
Okay.
Yeah, now the connection is successful. Maybe some typing error, I guess. So it is just November at 2025. So this is the username and password, which is there for my on-prem one. So the on-prem is nothing but this one. This is the username and password. So guys, request you to just install either if you have MS MySQL, so just use MySQL and then try to copy the data from MySQL to the cloud. Or if you have like SSMS installed on your machine, you can also try do it like copying the data from SSMS to the cloud. Or if you have any kind of other databases which is installed on your local machine, you can do it and try it. So if not, just try to install any one of these applications like SSMS or MySQL. So all these like you'll be able to get YouTube videos on how to install them. So this way like you can install and you will also be getting some sample data as well. So try using them and try creating them and then uh, 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 nothing will change, guys. It will be the same. So you'll be using the integration runtime. So see, I'm using the same local machine. So that is the reason I'm just connecting it. So if you are now connecting to your machine, then you have to create a new integration runtime and then download and install this application on your machine and then start using it. Okay, so you just have to download and install this on your machine. So in order to do that, you just have to create a new self-hosted IR and then do it. So if I just click new here, go to self-hosted IR, continue, and then click on maybe create. So you will be able to see the click here to launch the Express setup. So once you click on this, you will be getting a file like this. So you will be getting a file or application file like this. Just double click on the application, it will run it automatically. Or if you want to do it manually, you can just choose this option, which is the second option. You will just go to download and install integration runtime here. So you just choose download and you select any one of the integration runtimes and then download it. So once I click on download, it will be downloaded. So this is one of the IRs which I've downloaded here. So you just double click on them and it will start preparing the installation. So, but if you choose the first option, so automatically it will download and install on its own. So you do not have to again go back and manually enter this. So manually, once you do it, you have to install this one. So once it is installed, you have to give this particular key here. So you have to include this key. So you have to enter this particular key once it is installed. So that is how you can create a integration runtime. And once it is created, you will be able to copy the data. So now, right now, I'm just using IR2 and everything is as it is. I'm just going to create the data set right now. So link service is now created. Now, next step is to create the data set. So currently I've chosen AP as the database. So inside AP I have like these tables. So automatically these tables will get populated over here. So if I just select here, so all the tables which are there in my AP database, so they get populated over here. So I just want to copy the vendor table. So I'm just choosing the vendors table. So I'm just keeping as it is. And sync again, I'm just using my
ATLS
yeah, not ADLS. I'll just use my
or
SQL
it's
server itself.
SQL Server.
Oh, this is not the database, right? Where did the data set go? Okay, this one, first one. So first one is the one. So I'm just going to click on auto create table and let's just open this one. So this one I'm not going to give the name like this. Instead, let it be dpo.vendor and then link service is the same. So this shouldn't have any issues. So let me just see and see. I will also test the connection once. Okay, so hope this is clear, guys. So we have given the source as well as the sink. Sink is nothing but our SQL database which we created, or the SQL table database which we created, and the table which we are going to create now. So we're just going to the query editor again. So if you see this November at the rate 20, December at the rate 2025. Okay, so these are the tables. We have like three, four tables right now. So a fifth table will be added called as vendors. So if we run this particular pipeline, it will be added. Okay, let's just validate this one. Yeah, this is completely fine. And then now let's just debug this. The data has been completed and we would be able to see the vendors table right now in our SQL database as well. Let's just refresh. The vendor table has arrived now. So this is how you copy the data from on-prem to the cloud. The process is pretty similar, but the thing is you just have to install the self-hosted integration runtime and you have to use the self-hosted integration runtime. If not, it will not work. So that acts like a connection string between your local machine and Azure. So once it is installed, the application is installed on your local machine or VM or anywhere. So or then you can copy the data from there to your on-prem, from that on-prem to your cloud. So far, any doubts, guys? Whatever we have covered so far, any doubts on that? So guys, if you do not have any doubts, so we will just wrap up for the day. So we have covered till cloud, on-prem to the cloud. So we'll be seeing few more examples, and in the coming classes, I'll just show you like how you can copy multiple files. And after this, we'll see other activities which are present, like conditional activities and like data flow activities. So all these different activities we'll see in the further classes. So, any doubts so far, you can just feel free to ask me now. If not, we'll just top up for the day, and then we'll just continue over in the next weekend. So, hope everyone has their accounts created, guys. Anyone whose accounts haven't been created. Okay, so hopefully everyone's accounts is created. So, any doubts if you guys have, you can just ask me. If not, we'll just wrap up for the day.
Cut in
Yes, Gopi.
yeah. So in the real time scenario, also actually where we'll get the data from
Yeah, from all these different sources, like I mentioned. So it will
yeah.
be from on-prem, if you are migrating from cloud to on-prem. So this will be one source, and one more source will be a different application, or it will be one API will be your source. So it can be from all these different points. So source will not be always from one place. So it can be from multiple places, and it can also be from one place also. So see, for example, you have just migrated everything, and you are just holding all your data in one uh, one database itself, and you have done all your ETL there. So from there, you are just going to migrate, and you're just going to use everything. So there again, like your source will be like one point, and once it is migrated on, so from there, like you will be getting the API requests and everything from there. So it is not like one source; you can have multiple sources.
Okay. Fine.
So that's the reason, like I'm just showing you like how to copy the data from each source. So the base of the copy data activity will remain the same. But like for database, you will be having some preload scripts which you can give. But when it comes to files or anything, you will not have that option. So files and this thing, it will completely change. So changes will be there with respect to the type of the file as well, and also the type of the on-prem or cloud, that will also vary. Type of the application, that will also vary.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you have to use the right integration runtime accordingly.
Okay.
Let's say if I have the SQL Server and MySQL database also
Yeah,
in my on-prem, right? And I want to copy data, one table from SQL Server, one table from MySQL database. So the single IR can do that, or I need to
yeah,
configure
single
the.
IR can do it.
Okay, okay.
Single IR will be able to do it, but you have to create two link services because these are two separate sources, right? So
Yeah.
the password for your MySQL will be different, and the username and password for your SSMS will be different. So you need to create two different link service. Same IR can work. So single IR for single machine will work. See, even though like I had a different I had installed this for a different data factory. So
Mhm.
I can link it to, if it is there in the same subscription, I can link this particular IR to any of the ADFs which are here. Like I link to this ADF, I can link it to another ADF as well. But if I am trying to install it, copy data from your machine onto the cloud, then again I have to install this
Okay.
self
So
link.
basically,
You just dropped off, Vijay. Yeah, you can try again.
Yeah. Karthik, am I audible now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're audible.
I'm asking like you basically added one another subscription to your pre-installed IR, right? In
Yeah,
your machine.
I did
So
not
that is
add a subscription. I just added a resource. So in this one, I cannot add another subscription. Okay.
Mhm.
So it will have the same subscription only,
Okay.
but I can just use this link service in another resource. So for another resource, I'll be able to use it. So these are my
Okay.
different ADF resources, right? ADF
Mhm.
2026 Jan is one of the resource, and then
Mhm.
ADF December is another resource. So basically, I can just copy and I can. These are all in there in the same subscription.
Okay.
These resources are all there in the subscription. So the via the subscription, I've installed this integration runtime. So I can just share it across to the other subscription. So in order to share it, I've just copied this particular sharing option, and I've just put this on my IR which I've created.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so same resource, it can be used. Like I'm just using a different resource, so that is the reason I'm just copying it. So, but this IR is already installed in my machine. So again, I need not have to like uninstall and reinstall for this particular resource. So if it is a different subscription, then I have to do it.
Okay. Okay. So basically here you just shared this IR with among two different resource groups.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So two different resource groups. That is like even you in the weekend batch can also do it. One in the
Mm-hmm.
morning batch also
Mm-hmm.
can share it.
Okay.
So that is
Okay.
that is
Okay.
thing. It can be
Thank you.
shared
Thank
across the resources.
you.
Okay, guys. If you do not have any further doubts, we'll just wrap up for the day. And guys, if you have any kinds of doubts, please do keep it at the end of the class because like a lot of people are having issues like following up. If you have if you ask questions during the class, so we'll just have a dedicated session like end of the last 15 to 20 minutes. We'll just dedicate it separately for questions. So who like whatever questions you get, just to do make a note of it, or do just ping them in the chat. We'll just address them post the class. Okay.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Actually, a small doubt, not
Yeah.
regarding the ADF. You'll be covering the upcoming classes, ADF for Databricks and Fabric also you will cover.
Yeah. So first we'll go with ADF, and then once ADF is done, project of ADF will be completed, and
Okay.
then we'll move on to like basics of Python,
Okay.
and then basics of SQL, then basics of Databricks, like what is exactly Databricks, the history of Databricks and how it happened, and then we'll start coding in Databricks completely. So once Databricks is done, then we'll do a project which will have a combination of both Data Factory and Databricks. So once that is done, then we'll be going on to Synapse and Fabrics. So guys, Synapse and Fabric are like not a completely different one. So they are similar to whatever we cover in ADF and Databricks. Only thing, the user interface will be changed, and the integration among them is quite easier compared to other things. Okay.
And so after that, will you conduct the resume preparation and all, and
Yeah.
projects also you are going to cover.
Yeah. See, Fabric and Synapse, I'm not going to do a project separately on them because whatever project which we do, so it
Okay.
can also be done in Fabric as well. So only the user interface will change, that's all. So the concept and everything will remain the same. So only thing, the user interface will be a little bit different in Fabric, that's all.
Yeah. So we can mention in that Fabric and other synops also in the resume.
Yeah,
In the same project, we can add it.
yeah.
Oh, got it. Thank you, Karthik.
Okay, guys, if there are no further questions, we'll just wrap up for the day and have a good we- uh, week ahead, and we'll connect over in the next week.
No, thanks, Karthik.
Thanks, Karthik. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thanks,
Manoj.
Karthik.
Bye.